morning. Say hello. Oh, where am I? Today I'm going to do a day in the life vlog. So we're starting off at the gym. Happy Monday the 14th. We just had 6 beautiful ladies come in and train down in the Narrabeen studio at my BB studio. So now I'm going to go and cook myself some breakfast, and then I've got to go off to work for one class. So I'm up in Colorado Plateau for a class with my kids, which should be super fun. And then I've got a whole heap of work I've got to get through today. So today is kind of like a day in the life of me, but more like a day in the quiet life of me, because I'm not fully back at work. I'm still off from GrowFit. So GrowFit is my second job. I'm an area manager and I do kids fitness. It's so much fun. I don't actually go back to that until the 29th of Jan, but I do have a class today that I need to do for them. And then, yeah, so then I'm gonna go home and cook my lunch and basically try and endeavor to show you what a day in the life of a personal trainer who works multiple jobs and tries to work out and be healthy is like. And hey guys, welcome back to the life of the bags under the eyes. This is Sydney life for you. So normally I don't have enough time to, relax and fully prep my breakfast. I normally will either eat on the go and prep it the night before, or I'll go into my local cafe, which is actually just down from my studio, and buy a Nourish bowl from there. But today I have time. Morning, Coco. So I am cooking up some eggs. I actually feel like an omelette, so I'm going to do an omelette with lots of veggies in it. Okay, so in my omelette, I've got 4 eggs, a handful of pine nuts, rocket, tomato, cheese, carrots, onion, and then also some pak choi. Every time I have a breakfast, I like to do it 2 ways. 1, I either fast it out, and 2, I usually have a high fat, high protein and fiber breakfast. I try to steer clear of carbs in the morning, just because I feel like when I eat carbohydrates in the morning, like heavy breads and whatnot, by the time like 10 o'clock hits, I'm starving. Whereas if I have something like this, where it's like full of good protein and good fats, I'm usually fine right up until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So my days start super early and also finish quite late. Start at 4:30 in the morning. I generally work all day long, and then I'm not home until about 8 o'clock and not finished until about 8:30. So my other favorite thing I love to do on a daily basis, if possible, if I remember to get these, or lemons. Lemons were really expensive. They were $2 each. That's like out of this world. So I got limes because they were $1 each. So I got 4 of these, and what I've been doing is I've been having a minimum of 1 litre of lime juice a day, plus also on top of that, my normal 1 litre of water. I add a pinch of this Himalayan rock salt, and it's something that I know I'm lacking in, and a lot of other people do lack in salt as well. So when we sweat our salt out, so we need to make sure that we're replenishing that, and a really good way of doing that is through Himalayan pink salt or Celtic grey salt, not table salt. Do not eat table salt. So task 1 for a day in the life of Erin. I actually live with a family and I do all their cooking and cleaning. I love it. And I also help look after Coco the dog. This is Coco. I'm really sneaky and I add lots of little health foods into it. So today I'm making burger patties. So the burger patties, I've put this into it, liquid smoke. It's basically like, tastes like a barbecue sauce really. So I put that in there with some onion and basil. I've got fresh basil out in my little homegrown garden that I'm going to do, but I didn't want to pick it just yet. Himalayan rock salt in there as well, black pepper in, and obviously the basil. I would usually add breadcrumbs, but I'm not going to add breadcrumbs because I want to eat this and I don't want to have breadcrumbs in this. So I'm going to add something else. It's got half an egg in there too to help it kind of stick together. Alright, now that is all the cooking done for the day. I like to prep the fridge for these guys. I try and container everything up for them. And this is just the snacks. So this doesn't actually even include what we have for dinner tonight or tomorrow night. This is just our snack prep for the kids because they eat like animals. It's amazing. Lamb chops, crumb chicken, burger patties, and then we've got some fresh stuff on the side for dinners, all of our healthy veggies in here. So I'm a really big believer in don't buy plastic. It does my head in. I'm a real anti-plastic person, so when I shop like this, and I do everything usually from the farmers markets, and I do everything just like singles because I just can't handle plastic. It really hurts me. Use of our plastic in this world is ridiculous, and it is so easy to cut it down. Like, you just buy all your veggies like this. Like, it's hard to get meat unless you're going to a butcher and you're like, don't wrap it in plastic, which I probably should do. But like, even all this, like, it hurts. Like, there's just so much of it. We don't really need it, and it doesn't necessarily get recycled. So I am now going to go and get changed because I'm like a complete grub at the moment.
Falling back into all the patterns of my broken past, but I'm all intact, better than I was because you give me that kind of affection, my sweetest truth, I crave your attention.
Oh my god, so I totally forgot that I was vlogging today. Anyway, so instead of going to change my clothes, I ended up having a nap somehow. I'm still technically on holiday. So the reason I actually started this whole vlog was because I have chronic fatigue, had chronic fatigue. It's not as chronic as it used to be, but I still have fatigue. So I need to watch how my days pan out. About 10:30, you know, I started getting really tired. I've still got bags under my eyes. I've drank like 1.5 liters, 2 liters of water already today. So it's not that I'm lacking in water or anything like that. I started getting really tired. So I thought, well, I'll go have a cheeky nap. If I don't watch myself by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like eyes rolling in the back of my head, like trying to wake myself up, you know, really exhausted. So the whole point of this vlog was for me to help other girls who have chronic fatigue, had chronic fatigue, or want to recover from chronic fatigue. So I've managed over the last 3 years to really change my living and really build myself up from there. Like, I seriously got to a stage with this chronic fatigue that I was so delirious in the shops, like on a daily basis. You know, when you're so tired and someone like touches you or walks past you or something and you like flinch because you kind of didn't realize they were there and your reactions kind of go off. That was me on a daily basis. I had to take naps when I was driving my car. So like, I'd drive for an hour, then I'd have to pull over and nap for 20 minutes. Then I'd drive for an hour again. It was a really hard time of my life and I didn't know how I was supposed to make it through. I ended up making it through and pulled myself out of it. I've recovered quite well, but I'm still got fatigue, but not as chronic as it used to be. So this vlog was for me to kind of show you all the mindset, how I've now lived my life and how I eat and how I basically do everything towards fixing that chronic fatigue. So while I was forgetting to vlog, I actually did make some snacks. So my BB girls and I are on a bit of a sugar-free month. There's a couple of reasons that I decided to do this. One, I just traveled the world for 3 countries and all I ate was sugar and my body didn't like it. You can see my skin, it's horrible. Like, okay, maybe you can't see, but my skin's really bad. Like, it's really dry. I've got pimples all the way underneath my skin that you can't see. Then I've got ones coming up. I've got little ones all over my forehead as well. So sugar-free for me this month. My diet generally is sugar-free, but this is just like, you know, no sneaky biscuits. These little fuckers here. So I decided to make some nut balls instead. God, this camera holding business hurts your shoulders. I'm a really big advocate for high fat. So I made nut balls. But these guys, I'm not going to put the recipe up because they are for my private group, my BB girls. Okay, I finally got out of my long pants and changed, but not my top, because I just don't know how to fashion. So I'm off to wash my studio. I really need to wash my car because it's only been about, 3 years since I've actually washed my car. So that's on the goals for this week. I'm not even kidding. It actually has been 3 years since I washed my car. My family will believe this.
But you know it's cool. If I just get a little taste of you.
So I'm here, I'm at the BB studio. Anyway, so if any of you guys know me, you'll know that I have a little dog, and you'll know that this little dog is my absolute life, and you'll know that she goes everywhere with me. I'm really lucky that I can actually take her everywhere and take her to work with me. Like it's the best, it really is. There's a good 5 years that she and I had like quite separate because I worked in a big supermarket, and then I decided to work for myself and I got to take her everywhere. So I've had this little girl, I've had my little Moo for 9 years now, and she's just been by my side the whole time. She's my little precious baby. So we're off to go and clean the BB studio. If we have time, we're gonna get a workout done, aren't we, little Moo? And then we're off to train the Central Coast. Okay, so studio is clean. So something you should know about me is that I don't like to buy things. Like I just don't like it. Like I just feel like I'm a very wasteful person when I have lots of clothes or if I have lots of shit that I just don't need. Anyway, so my mop just broke. Ugh. And I don't have the time to go and buy a new one, and B, couldn't really be bothered to buy a new one. So little Miss Domestic over here just hand mopped her gym mat. Workout done. I'm super sweaty. This is where my body is currently at. I'm a personal trainer. The point of this channel, enlighten everyone to inside battles rather than just, struggling to lose weight because you're not eating properly and you're not exercising enough. I eat properly, I exercise enough. So 4 years ago, I had chronic fatigue. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue and glandular fever. I had severe depression. My life was falling apart in front of my eyes. 2.5 years ago, completely fell apart in front of my eyes, and my body suffered that through chronic illness. So what happened was pretty much my body shut down. It wasn't detoxing, I couldn't lose weight, and I just stacked the weight on. This is the only photo I have of what I look like. I was living at my grandparents' house at the time. I weighed about 90 kilos in this photo. I weigh 76. So I've lost quite a lot of weight since then. I still have a lot to go, but my journey is not about looks. I'm happy with my cellulite-ridden body. Like I have cellulite everywhere on my body. You can see it. Like I got fat here. I've got cellulite everywhere. My thighs especially. My legs have always been the area of my body that never held weight and never kind of held cellulite until, all of this happened to my body. So I kind of like to bring awareness to people who, you're working out, you're going to the gym, you're eating healthy, you're, meditating, you're doing everything and you're still not losing weight. It is fine. It takes time. Like it's taken me now 4 years to get back here. Prior to all of this happening, I was the fittest, the strongest I've ever been in my life. I think I weighed 59 kilos to 64 kilos. I was deadlifting 100 kilos. I was squatting 80 to 100. It was really, really good time of my life. And then everything fell apart and this is where I am. And you know what? I'm totally fine with it. So girls, I just want you to know, like, rock it. My on-the-go lunch is a sandwich. I don't normally eat bread. This is hemp seed and then heaps of other different seeds like flax seeds and everything. So it's really high in omega-3. And it's a sourdough as well, so it's a little bit lower in gluten. Normally I try and avoid gluten completely, but I don't have any sort of carbs for my lunch today because I haven't prepared anything. Normally I have a high fat breakfast and then a higher carb lunch and then even higher carb dinner, but normally my dinner's around about 5 or 6 o'clock, which it won't be tonight because I am up in BB.
Enough to keep me satisfied. Enough to keep me satisfied.
Hola ladies, so I am officially on the Central Coast now. It is absolutely beautiful outside. I drove up a little bit earlier than usual because it's still a public holiday, so there's lots of kids out and there's lots of people at the beach. So I came up just to see if pretty much there was still room for us to train and things like that. So I'm going to use my time effectively. So I have a little bit of a goal this year where I kind of want to kind of move away from so much driving. So last year I was driving a lot, like I was driving up to 6 hours a day. I had a pretty productive year, so to speak, on GrowFit, but not at all on my business, because I did kind of sideline my own business, and I kind of have sidelined my own business since I opened it, just because of there's been so many different things. Depression and knowing whether I'm worthy of running a business, finances, you know, everything that happened to me, I almost had to give up on my own dream, but I didn't. You know, working for another company that I love so much and sidelining my own business. And then the other one is actually knowing what I want to do with my business. So I've been really kind of, my head's just kind of been like everywhere. Like, I don't want to own a gym, but I love my studio. Like, I just don't want to have a generic a gym. I don't want to do what everybody seems to be doing these days with running a gym. I don't want to be everybody. But then, you know, I love personal training and I love group training because I get to connect with women and I get to try and help them grow from where they are into the person they want to be. So then I've been really kind of like going with the flow with my business and of watching to see which avenue it goes down. And I feel I know what I want to do with it now. I know where I want to go. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen, but I know I am going to make that happen. So I've got an hour before the class starts, so I'm going to be productive. I'm like a journal addict. I love journaling. I love buying journals, not necessarily using them properly. So I've got my journals here. I'm going to sit here and pre-plan my weeks.